Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Top Tarot Trumps. It has been a while, and very happy to be with you here today on this 8th day of August 2024, an 8-year. I hope that you have set an intention for this powerful portal, and perhaps there will be some wisdom in the messages from the cards that I'm reviewing today. And while Temperance is not an 8, it certainly does carry some of the messages of 8. And as you can see, I have a banner scrolling across the bottom. I have a sale that starts today on all of my tarot classes. And if you have been waiting to sign up, now is the time. Just need to adjust my brightness. There we go. So, yeah, and that'll be on through September 3rd. So one thing is that all of my courses, they're not all completely pre-recorded. Some of them are still in progress. And this is, I'm very attentive to the comments that arise in the courses and the questions and the emails. And as I've said before, I'm always open to creating extra videos. And you are not just a name on a class list. Your contributions, your questions, inquiries will all be addressed, and you are as equally important as were the souls who were present when I was first recording the classes. Okay? All right, so thank you very much. All right, so let's get into these cards, and I want to start with Margaret Peterson. You are fire and water. Let me get Margaret Peterson center stage here. And in the Margaret Peterson Tarot, this is called the Mediatrix. You are fire and water, the cosmic mixer, mediating between personal and superpersonal realms. Rainbow body, changing the 7 poisons into the 7 wisdoms. Cleansed, you stand between death and the devil, representing the knowledge of measuring and timing. You are vessel and content, the ever-changing flow of life force. If you don't have this little white book, it is, I think, my all-time favorite little white book from any deck. There's a few good ones out there, and I may very well do a little white book feature in my tarot book series, because there are some great ones. So what is the Mediatrix? What is this card? What is this? Why is the symbol of the rainbow present in this card? Well, when we are consciously aware of our inner harmonies, our inner chemistry, our wellness in general, there is more sensitivity to the ins and the outs, to all that creates balance and harmony for our mental state, for our emotional state, for our physical well-being. And the rainbow is only present when we have a combination of fire and water. And these 2 elements are in a dance in so many cards in so many ways throughout the tarot. Fire and water. And I wonder about this, because the symbol of the rainbow is one that gives us hope. It has a lot of associations from different myths and different cultures. I smile. I think of times in Hawaii, the land of rainbows. It truly is this place where the sun and the water and the water and the fire sing and dance together and create this amazing prismatic show daily, multiple times a day. So what is temperance but creating your rainbow, creating your glory, letting your light shine? And I think the thing about temperance that is so difficult is that it requires effort. I feel like with this card, there's a certain self-responsibility to health and to wellness. Yes, there's always things going on in the background, behind the scenes, but we also are here in this second septenary out in the world, where it's no longer personal either, right? We encounter other people along the way. There's a lot of interactions, and so we need to keep focused on this energy. It has a lot of correlations to the Lover's card and other cards that highlight this synchronicity of fire and water. I'm just looking through the window in the Druidcraft Tarot, and we also see a rainbow in this card. And I want to talk a little bit about the Tree of Life. This is the Tabula Mundi card. And Sagittarius is, in the Golden Dawn system, is the zodiacal sign that is associated with temperance. Temperance in the Tree of Life is on the central pillar. It is down low, and it connects the energy of the moon in Yesod to the sun. And the archer here, with tremendous focus and strength, draws the bow back to shoot the arrow straight up the tree, up through Tiferet, up through the sun, toward the heavens, through that energy of the High Priestess up towards Keter. And there is a strength that is required here. I just think of the energy of drawing back a bow, and I think this all weaves in and connects so beautifully to, I don't know if responsibility is the right word, but self-responsibility, self-action for self-care. There's an honoring of all that's going on externally, but in that way, we begin to understand more the dance of how I affect everything around me and how everything around me affects inside me as well too. Hello, Amelia. Namaste. So there's a few really different cards on the table here today, and this is perhaps the most complex symbol, the most complex archetype in all 21 of the arcana. I think without a doubt it is. Hiding behind, over on the far right side, is the Primordial Tarot, and this is quite a poignant card. And I would like to read to you from the Primordial Guidebook. Arcana 14 is called The Source. Water is often noted as the source of life. It is also the force that quietly and gently shapes the earth. The earth contains and directs water, but as water flows, it will slowly carve away the earth, so that it can flow more easily and directly. The human experience causes us to sometimes forget the need to drink deeply from the source. Everything needs water, whether metaphorical or literal, to continue living. Our spiritual well runs dry, and we wither inside. The source reminds us that we must return again and again to nourish our bodies, our minds, and spirits. As we replenish our reserves, the source of life flows through us, bringing cleansing and healing, renewal. And this conscious attention to harmonizing our inner chemistry, pharmacy, wellness is so fundamental to our spiritual health and well-being. The 14th Arcanum sits at the end of the second septenary, this tipping point that takes us into the third septenary, which has a lot more spiritual cards, higher frequency cards. And we absolutely must prepare the physical temple to sustain the energy of spirit. And without a strong physical, body, we don't generally do well in our connections with spirit. Now, the card down here is from the Thoth Journey Tarot. I will link all of these later below. This card really made an impression on me because it consciously or more clearly demonstrated the connection of the four elements and the power of the four elements coming together. The journal for this deck is really beautiful, by the way. Thoth, it's by Joanna. Her name is going to elude me. Anyway, Thoth Journey Tarot. And in the extra journal, she wanders into each of the cards and has a deeply spiritual experience. But here we see, and when I think of the heart of the wood, the heart of the tree, and all that it takes the tree to grow, nature to grow, and the four seasons, and all of the elements, and the strongest of trees, the strongest of beings, have a deep awareness of how each of the elements is essential to our well-being. It reminds me a little bit of the chemistry of food and the chemistry of eating, and how an awareness of salty and sweet and bitter and pungent and all of the taste sensations on the tongue are part and parcel with eating well. And something that really came to the forefront when I was paying more attention to what we were eating in India on various journeys, and how the science of Ayurveda is so intricately woven into the art and science of yoga. Yeah, so this card means a lot. It means a lot to me, and it's almost for me a sign when this card arises that this querent is going to be one who works with me long term. It's not easy to figure this all out on your own, but I have to say that, when I saw this card, it almost, I don't know, it made me cry. I think of a dear friend who just awakened me to the gift of water. And we just take it for granted, we turn on the tap and we have running, clear, clean, in most places, running water. I don't know, it's everything. It's everything. It's everywhere. It's a huge part of our makeup, of our constitution as well too, and yet it must be balanced with all the other elements. The Druidcraft Tarot, I've always liked this card because I see this young druid, she's learned from her elders. She uses the dried herbs that are hanging from the ceiling. All of everything that she needs to put into her cauldron is around her. Hello, Saskia. And the ornateness of the cauldron, I think, also reflects the honoring of the work that is put into creating the medicine or the food or the potion or the tincture or the tea or whatever it is that you are creating. Awareness, mindfulness is so important here. And I love that she is dressed in the traditional blue and red of Temperance that we see in the Tarot de Marseille and some of the older decks. The red and the blue, so the red for the divine masculine, the blue for the divine feminine. And in this card, we have in the clothing the representation of the union of the receptive and active aspects of self. And this card just contains so much gorgeous medicine. In the Crowley deck, and many of the Crowley inspired cards, so this one here, it's called Art. This is the Urban Tarot. And the Tabula Mundi all use the Crowley keyword of art. So why? Why is this called art? Well, this, and I want to read to you from the Philarkos because I think that describes it so beautifully, even though Carmen Sorrenti doesn't use the word art for this card. But this is the art of alchemy. This is art of you mindfully creating the harmony within. There's a lot to be learned here. And nature gets involved in all of this as well. Oh my goodness, this card is so beautiful. I need to hold it up. Okay. Robin Scott does a fabulous job with this card, incorporating both concepts from the Crowley deck as well as concepts from the Waite-Smith. You see we don't have lilies, we have the narcissus on the right. We have the angel on the painting on the wall. And one thing in this card that I think is so interesting. Now look at the stop and go sign, the street sign. We have red for stop and green for go, or blue for go. Why is red stop when red is the color for action? And it's just a really interesting mix of the way that colors mean different things. And why is blue or green go when that is the receptive lunar color that would symbolize pausing? I think it's really clever that she has incorporated the go and stop sign into this card, where we look at the integration of fire and water, sun and moon, masculine and feminine, active and receptive within ourselves, and how our participation, as well as the way life, spirit, the divine orchestrates that on our behalf. And I think the mastery of this card has to do with the learning how to dance with the art of combining these various elements in our life. The Philarkos Temperance card. The alchemist in the lab, when an alembic has burst into a chaotic confusion of effect. Chemicals fizz and coil, they twist and howl in the heat. The red fire rises up behind, a whole cavalry of angry intent. Creative power and expression are born of the black lilies of regret. New relation for the whole and to each other. Blue exalts the orange glow. They work together despite their past collisions. For everything, for every beautiful thing that rises, for every harmony, there is a prior stage where we trampled through the mud. Below, silver moonshine liquefies to amenability, a reflective pool for all to drink from. Above, the dawn rises in a glint of yellow consciousness. The temperance angel burns myrrh and watches as you work in cinnabar and quicksilver. New harmonies get transplanted to the soul. Temperance in your physical system is its homeostasis. The body is alchemist. Inquire and watch for clarity and synchronistic answers over the next few days. What might your body need? Perhaps more minerals, water, tenderness, the stretching of your spine. Work with the delicate act of balancing each part. I am the mediatrix of the elements, making one to agree with the other. This is quoted in Jung. And that's interesting that mediatrix is the title for the Temperance card in the Margaret Peterson Tarot, using that word. This is a juicy card. It really is. And all this information, this consciousness, this mindfulness that comes forward when this card appears in a reading can be overwhelming. It really can. And it can take you off on a bit of a solo journey as well, too. There's so many correspondences between the Lover's card and this card. And this one here, it's like we understand that if we can truly find this harmony within ourselves, that we'll be okay on our own. It's like at this point, we don't really need the reflection of the other. We've done a certain amount of work here that now we can carry it forward. And so maybe there's a bit of selfishness here too that gets thrown out as we embrace this kind of priority in our lives. Ideally, you would have a partner that also prioritized this kind of energy. And so, my top 5 temperance cards are the Mediatrix is a for sure. Oh, I didn't even talk about Marielle. I really have always loved this card. My Chinese zodiac. I'm a water tiger, and I just really understand this card. The power and the strength of the wildcat in the water. Yeah, this is kind of like, it's like my card. This is me in so many ways. This is really hard because these cards all say something so very, very important. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. There's just something really powerful in this card from the Primordial Tarot. And I know it focuses mostly on the element of water and the relationship of the element of water with earth. But in a way, the water, the power of the water contains the strength of the fire, its relationship with the earth and the way that it carves the earth, the way that its power emerges. It's a bit like that wild cat in the waves there. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to go with these 5. And from left to right, they are Tabula Mundi, Marielle, Margaret Peterson, Thoth Journey Tarot, and the Primordial Tarot. Okay. I would like to do a reading, but rather than a reading, I want to create an affirmation, something inspirational to carry through the remainder of this 888 portal. And may you all be strong and receive the message of the Temperance card as well here today, because it will help to fortify you in every way. Okay. There are a lot of decks on the table. Okay, sorry, I'm just having a hard time choosing a deck. I think I'm going to go with Druidcraft. It's going to need a bit of a shuffle. And Amelia and Saskia, I'm happy to draw a card for you as well to post reading. On this 8th day of August 2024, let us all find inspiration in this energetic time, energetic day, this energetic opening, bringing us closer to the energy of the divine. May we all take a moment in this day to honor our connection with the divine and recognize the importance of our flow, the dance with how we act and respond to all that surrounds us. And as always, I ask this message be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. Card jumped out. I'm going to start with this one. This is the Ace of Pentacles. It's like that pentacle is the 888 portal. It is this spiritual opening. We have trees on either side of the card framing the card. I remember a few years ago on 888, I went for a swim, which I will do today, and there were two boats that were framing the sun. I think they were framing the sun. Maybe they were framing the sunset. I don't remember. But I just swam out between these two boats as if they were this magical opening, this portal. And so I feel like this card it perfectly frames the energy of this day. Wander in this world with reverence. Feel connected to all that surrounds you. Remember that the suit of Pentacles represents the material world and also the earthy quality of our experience. Let the pads of your feet come in contact with the earth on this day. Feel your connection, feel your weight and your presence. Get grounded. And open this suit of Pentacles with a full sensory experience in contact with the earth. And if you are in the southern hemisphere, if you are in a place where the earth is cold, use your hands and pad your hands on the earth and drink in its energy. You are the Lord of your domain. You have a largesse about you. I'm looking at the combination of the bear and the Ace of Pentacles and the grandness of the Master in the fourth arcanum. Look how the cape is blowing in the wind in the back, and look how the fabric is also blowing off the back of the knight, the prince in the air suit on the right. The throne upon which the Lord sits is old stone. Yeah, I feel like there's a real importance here to be with the earth in whatever hours are left in this day, wherever you are in the world. Lie down, sit, wander in, swim. I feel like the Prince of Swords, both of these strong masculine archetypes here are inviting precision, clarity. Like they're something is becoming very clear. And these two energies are helping you to find that. There may be one word, one action, one book. Just listen. Listen and hear the first word that comes to mind. And let that inspire and help you to build. You know that the Lord card, the fourth arcanum, it's called the Builder in the Gaian Tarot. 4 is such a powerful number, and it goes so beautifully with the energy of Ace of Pentacles. It's like you are building a new life. You're building a new way. You are creating something that is foundational and fundamental to who you are. And the Prince of Swords adds to that a truth. A truth. So what I might suggest you do is to write a brief affirmation focusing on that one word that comes to you. And yet let the general feeling here be one of expansiveness and great success. All right, let me draw one card for each of the two lovely souls present, and I will leave you for today. This card is for Emilia. And I think this only expands on everything that I'm saying here. It's really interesting in this card. I love the right hand on the tree, on the mossy tree, and how you can't quite see where the path is going. And yet it is entirely clear which way that path is going. And for Saskia, another wandering card. Okay, there is yet another path unfolding. There is so much lunar energy in this card. The water that runs down the rocks on the right and just through the whole card, the powerful lunar ecliptic energy on the left, the strength of the seeker stepping up the mountain, who is dressed in blue and red. You become stronger the more you let go, the more you release, the clearer things become. And put your personal cards into the story of Ace of Pentacles, Lord, and Prince of Swords. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. And I will be back tomorrow resuming Top Tarot Minors. And then the 15th Arcanum will come once Masha has posted her Devil video. And yeah, thank you all. Thank you all so much. Take good care. And for those of you that are watching the replay, I look forward to your comments. Namaste.